Hello there. Welcome to this episode of Force Ghost Conversations. This is your host, Anthony King, and this week I'm going to do a play and talk with the new video game Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Before we get started, I'm inviting you to join the conversation with us. We can be found on Twitter and Hive at Force Ghost Pod. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok just by searching Force Ghost Conversations. Also, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your listening site of choice. Plus, Force Ghost Conversations is now live on Patreon. If you're a fan of the podcast and would like to consider pledging your support, there will be a link in the episode description for you to check out the various tiers offered. Finally, please be sure to check out our TeePublic store to buy some Force Ghost Conversations merchandise. And without further ado, it's time to gather around the campfire for some Force Ghost Conversations. All right, everybody, welcome back to Force Ghost Conversations. And this is a fun episode that I've got planned for you here today that I'm not really sure what's going to happen, to be honest, because what we're doing here is called a play and talk. Some of those that have been with the show for a while now know that we did this about a year ago now when Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga came out, and I just kind of played along the game a little bit. Of course, the audio will be removed from the segment, so I won't get flagged for any issues when it comes to that, but I'll just kind of narrate my experience as I'm going through the game. So of course there will be some light spoilers, of course, as I'm explaining what's going on in that regard. So if you don't want to, be spoiled to the game at all, you've been forewarned. Don't listen to that part of the episode. But we do have some news to get through in this week's Cloud City Gossip segment, which is what we're going to talk about right now. And of course, I want to start with the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, which was re-released back into theaters this past week here. And it actually did very well in terms of box office. It made upwards of 5 million in the markets that it was released in total, which put it in the top 5 for the domestic box office this past week, which is incredible. I'm glad that a lot of people went out to go see Return of the Jedi in theaters again. It was my first time seeing it on the big screen in that format, which was really incredible. I love getting to see all those wonderful stories and characters portrayed on screen in that matter. Of course, seeing Anakin Skywalker and the other Force Ghosts, but particularly Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, and really, really melted my heart and all that. And I got emotional like 7 times. It was a really spectacular experience, and I hope if you're able to at some point go see a Star Wars on the big screen like that. That's what it was made for. It's what it was meant for. Enjoy it on that premium format experience. So any chance you get to, be sure to do that. That's my recommendation. Also, I don't know if you were all aware, but this past week was also the celebration of May 4th, a la Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you, as many proclaim it to say. And with that release, we got 2 new shows on Disney Plus. The first being, of course, Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, which takes place during the High Republic. I've watched the first episode and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to talk about it here on Force Ghost Conversations in the coming weeks. We will also be covering the other show that came out, which was Star Wars Visions, and I've seen the first episode of that as well, titled Sith, which was just spectacular. I think there's so much to dive into in regards to that episode, and I think that the El Guero studio, or Aguirre, I apologize, I don't know off the top of my head exactly what studio did that correctly, but I think it's El Guerri. They phenomenal. I really, really loved what they were doing with that episode, and the themes of it all. The why of Star Wars Visions was really in that episode. So I'm excited to do some deep dives into all that. Of course, there were tons of deals. I spent some money on May 4th buying some stuff. There were deals on Amazon. There were deals on various other publications and sites. In regards to Star Wars, I bought a game. I bought The Force Unleashed, and so I just have it downloaded on my Xbox now. Of course, I played through some Survivor. It was a really great time to celebrate Star Wars, and I hope that you were all able to do so in your own way, whatever way that you like to celebrate and geek out about Star Wars overall. So with that, folks, that was all the news that I had for this week's episode. On the other side of this short break, we'll be back with our play and talk for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, welcome back to our special play and talk episode of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I guess you're asking yourself, why do I do it in this format? Why don't you just play the entire game, give us a review, do a big discussion, deep dive into the big narrative? I hope to do that someday. That's a very valid question, and again, I hope that I'm able to put that together. However, just the way that I play video games, in this current format of my life, I don't really play through video games in one sitting anymore. I don't know if I have the patience or attention span to do so these days. I have other competing priorities in my life. I'm married. I have grad school. I have a job. All that stuff. I do this podcast. When you compile all that together, you kind of just yeah, your free time is a little limited when it comes to just sitting down and playing a video game for a while. But so I'm going at my own pace here when it comes to this. Frankly, I've only been able to play like about an hour of the game thus far. So that's kind of why I do these play and talks, is because when the game is first released, then I can just kind of give some minor thoughts about it from the start, give me some rumblings, some idea about it, where I think it's going, where my head's at with it currently, rather than waiting potentially weeks down the line for when I can actually get to it. Because boy, this summer is going to be wild for me. I've got 2 summer classes, 3 days a week. It's going to be nuts. But at the end of it all, I will have a master's degree, and then I won't have to deal with school ever again. So definitely a very action-packed and wild time coming up for the future here. But with that, I want to get into the gameplay here overall. And I did mention that I've played about an hour so far of this game, and it is brutal. That's kind of my first takeaway. The first takeaway that I got here is, again, it takes, the same kind of game engine, if you will, from Jedi Survivor, if you played that game, or not Jedi, but Jedi Fallen Order, if you played that game, and then took it up a notch when it came to the lightsaber action of it all. Because if you are to use the lightsaber in combat against a stormtrooper or some other foe, you are going to literally take off some limbs. You're going to see some lightsaber entry points. It is pretty rockin' and metal, if you ask me. I don't think I've ever seen a video game actually take it to that extreme, which is, I'm going to say, wild. I never thought I'd see that in a Star Wars game at all. And the fact that they went there, I'm just like, I'm amazed just by what I see so far. Again, I'm going to get into some spoilers for just the game itself as I go through it here. So I'm going to be talking about the story and the elements that I come across as they arrive. But I like the gameplay overall. I think it's a smooth transition. Of course, I'm just playing on the story mode level. I tried doing Padawan, and then I got into the battle with the ninth sister, and it didn't bode well for me. So I had to take it down to the basic level of game. But again, I don't game as much as I used to anymore, and I'm not sure if I was ever really that good to begin with, to be honest. So that's kind of where I'm at this point with the game. I just want to kind of get through it to learn the story and be with these characters a bit more. I don't think I realized how much I actually appreciate Cal Kestis as a Jedi, as a character. He's definitely grown from where we pick up at the end of Fallen Order. I wish that I had been able to get to Sam Maggs's book, Battle Scars, the tie-in novel to Jedi Survivor that takes place in between Fallen Order and Survivor, and helps bridge the gaps more to kind of get the sense of these characters and where they're at this point in time. So just for sake of explaining where I'm at, I believe that the last thing I did was I took out the Ninth Sister. So I killed that Inquisitor. In that climactic lightsaber battle here. And now we're kind of in the depths of Coruscant trying to get out and all that stuff. So that's what I'm doing now. So I just started up the gameplay again. I've just meditated. I've got all my stims back up. and this is what we're due here. And I will say, uh, this game sometimes isn't the most intuitive for me to find out where to go and all that stuff. But the great feature detail that they added in this game is a much improved um, map, if you will. I remember spending so many hours in um, Fallen Order and trying to figure that game out a bit, which took me forever. Like, you have no idea how long I spent just kind of searching around, finding these hidden passageways and trying to. I did my best to not watch walkthrough videos um, when it came to Fallen Order, but I think I'm just gonna have to. If push comes to shove, when it comes to this game, I don't want to spend all the hours I did before doing that. Um, just got a bunch of stormtroopers here. I'm on the lower levels of Coruscant here. My wonderful droided friend Beatty is doing his thing here, helping me out. I see that I'm wanted. I do love this double flight thing that they got going on here. I love the grapple hook. I think this technology really improved itself here from the first game for sure. And I might have to really replay that first game again once this is all done here. I did really love that so much. Oh, a purge trooper. I just big fan of this game, this engine so far. I just love how brutal this all is. Um, let's get going, BD1. Oh, he wants to scan something. That's what it is. I hope this is fun for you guys at home. I always wonder what it's like to like people that listen to others play games. I always wonder how that goes. Especially like maybe if I was Twitch streaming and you'd be able to see actually what was on screen and all that stuff, it'd be a different experience. But maybe just the auditory nature of it all is cool too. I don't know. Again, I talked a little bit about, I guess, the Cal Kestis of it all. Oh, I have to climb this rope here. That wasn't too intuitive on that matter. I gotta climb the ceiling. But I thought Fallen Order was really great, and I'm glad that we're gonna get to continue the narrative here a bit more. Am I supposed to go somewhere? I'm climbing something here. Is that the same rope that I climbed before? Yes, it is. So I gotta go away from there. I think I have to drop. Oh yes, okay. I had to drop and then use the grapple, the hook to. No, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that, and then I died. And that's what happens. You just fall down a pathway, and that's really it there. Okay, yep, gotta climb the ceiling here. I definitely need to drop when I get to the end here. It's a quick turnaround. I don't know where I'm supposed to go after this. Up. Am I supposed to hook onto something? Nothing. I got nothing. I definitely need to get to this other platform here. And I definitely want to tell you why I like Cal Kestis a lot. I'm getting there. Don't worry about it. Okay, I drop. Use the grapple hook. Am I supposed to... Oh, okay. I figured it out. I was supposed to jump to a different zip line. My goodness. Sometimes, I got a prior right shard. I can exchange for the right reward at some point in time. Oh well. Anywho, this has been interesting playing this game so far. Again, I like Cal Kestis as a Jedi a lot, and I liked seeing that journey of him surviving Order 66 and relearning the Force in a way, or being forced to, and then making that choice at the end to be like, all right, I want to be a part of the Jedi. I want to carry the tenets on. I want to continue the story and find the Zepho. And I related to this character a lot. He seemed like he was on his own. he created, he found this family along the way. He learned some hard truths about those characters, and then he has to make a choice for himself whether he wants to be with them or not, and look past those differences and come together at the end. Um, I really like that, and I like how he made those choices himself and came to those conclusions, and really had a ton of agency as a character rather than having it stripped away from him like he did as a child. Like he was really regrowing that agency as we went through the course of the video game. And now that we're starting back here, he seems like he's definitely a bit more confident in his skill set. He's working with Saw Gerrera here, collecting intel on Coruscant. That's really what this first mission is about here. We're now with Bodhi and Bravo here to get some of this intel that they were gathering from the senator that was killed earlier in the game to Saw Gerrera. And it's also really cool to be on Coruscant again. I will never say no to more time with Coruscant, especially in this time frame. I think that is just a fun character detail that I didn't when I saw the trailer, I didn't think we'd be spending quite as much time on Coruscant as we are. So I'm glad that we're getting to do that because this is the dark times, as we all know. I believe this game at the right now takes place literally at the same time that Kenobi does. So that may explain why the Ninth Sister wasn't in Kenobi. I also thought that the Ninth Sister was dead, or at least pretty close to death from Jedi Fallen Order, which you do fight that character in that game. And I thought I was pretty confident that she got her hand chopped off, and I thought that might have been it, but no, evidently not. It worked for this story though too, how he was able to overcome that. All right, so I'm in a hangar now. I'm gonna rest. I want to switch my stance. I want to see if I can change my stance to the dual wield. I want to do the dual wield for a bit because I like that a lot. Okay, I'm going to open this door. Oh, and there's a ton of stormtroopers. I like the detailer you can do where you can kind of pause time altogether or make everyone slower when you have a group of bads coming at you. Oh man, I just did some type of double tap with the Y button here. I'm playing on Xbox, of course, and oh man, I just did a sick redirect of a blaster bolt. I think I'm getting the hang of some of these game concepts better. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of this dual wield. Cameron Monaghan, who is the character for Cal Kestis, not only just the voice actor, but actually the motion capture for this as well. He's doing excellent, I would say, in this game so far. Man, these purge troopers are getting wild out here. I'm also getting attacked by like a gunship. I don't know if my game's lagging or not. I don't know what the deal is. Let's see if I can deflect some of these back at the guy. Yeah, I just knocked him off. I like that you can use the force push on this game pretty extensively. You can just I will never get tired of knocking stormtroopers off ledges, or using the force pull to pull them to you, and then taking them out with a nice punch, lightsaber to the gut. Again, this game is definitely one of the most brutal video games I've played in quite some time. Okay, I guess I go downstairs, maybe? Nope, doesn't look like it. Is there a door that I go to? I thought this was the door I came from. Oh, I'm supposed to interact with them. Okay, now I know what I'm supposed to do. Sometimes I get lost along the way and I'm like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Anywho, Coruscant. I'm getting sidetracked here with my general ramblings about this game. First off, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. They did an excellent job um, making the graphics of this game look next gen. I think this is only on next gen consoles, if I understand correctly. Whether it be the computer, PC, PS5, or the Xbox Series S or X, which I'm fortunate to have gotten the first wave of Xbox Series X's. Okay, they got the intel there, and may the force be with you, he says. We're going off on a separate journey here. We're going to maybe meet up with Saw Gerrera. I think he's in the trailer again. That's fun. That's fun. I like Bodhi as a character. I thought he was very reliable. He's a good guy. And yeah, we're back on the Mantis. This is a coming back home, if you will, in many ways. Whatever we're going to go next. Yeah, Coruscant. Lot of fun being back here. Good to see what this world looks like in this in between. So of course we got to see it in Andor a little bit, which will take place a couple of years from now. We got to see the Jedi Temple, which is now the Emperor's headquarters, if you will. It's where his main office is. And I'm surprised it didn't stir up more news that that a Jedi was captured. I would have swore that would have been like big time kind of stuff here. But that senator must have been so seedy that it went under the wires, if you will. Yeah, we were deep in the bowels of Coruscant. It looks like, because I'm watching some. Oh, there's some TIE fighters too, chasing them down. Man, just can't catch a break here, these guys. Man, I'll tell you what, some of these animations are exquisite. These sequences here, it's like a movie playing just before my eyes. It's not just watching a video game or playing a video game here. This is a cinematic experience. We should be playing this on like a larger screen, if you ask me. I'll say so far, this game, it definitely has a, I think it's $70 or even higher if you want the deluxe edition. I personally didn't get the deluxe edition because it was just for, as far as I understand, for customizable features like making Cal look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, or I believe Han Solo and Luke Skywalker were various options. Yeah, I didn't care for that. I don't need to. Entirely up to you if you want to have those customizable options, but I didn't feel like it was worth it to me personally. I usually also don't replay video games, so if you want to replay video games like this, it will have a ton of value for you in that regard, so that you can play it in multiple ways and have those different experiences that you certainly have earned through your monetary contributions. Ooh, the Mantis made it out. I think Bravo didn't. And then Cal is into hyperspace here, charging off away from Coruscant. Definitely going away. I don't know did I miss Bodhi and Bravo making it out? It definitely was tight back there at the end, but we'll see if they return back in the story at all. I couldn't necessarily make it out. Yeah, these animations are really, really well done. Okay, he's transmitting some information to Saw Gerrera. Looks like there's a picture that Cal Kestis has of some folks. I think it was this crew that he was with for a little bit here. Is that Grease calling in? Man, what a guy. Haven't seen him in a while. I bet he's mad that he doesn't have the... Oh, it's just a video. That's fun. We're getting some flashbacks to an earlier time. Looks like... oh, it's from BD. His archive, it looks like. Must have recorded sometime during the events of Fallen Order. What I like about the Star Wars universe right now is you're seeing how interconnected these stories are. Of course, there's Marin, but you see the design that came from Fallen Order for Fortress Inquisitorius, which we see in episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's almost exactly the same. Now, of course, there's a few years that have gone by since then, so it's allowed to have some slight updates and differences. It looks like Marin's going to return to Dathomir. Apparently BD1's not invited to going back to Dathomir. So it just goes to show you that these stories aren't just video games. They aren't just comic books. They aren't just books. This is a Star Wars galaxy where they're all intertwined and connected. Events that happen in one influence the events in other things, and vice versa. There's no issue if a story is told in a certain medium, which I like. I also like seeing this band of unlikely members of a family together and living their life. Look at Grease making food here. BD's recording the family album. Marin and Cal sitting beside each other. Sarah's over there having some banter with the group. Tell you what, this is a long cutscene. It's been like a good 5-minute cutscene here. Oh my gosh. Again, also too, if you talk about connections here, BD, the droid type, I don't know if it's exactly BD1, is in the Book of Boba Fett. You may recall seeing him in those Mandalorian episodes, or more Mandalorian-focused episodes, especially on Tatooine with Pelimoto's group. So maybe we get to see some more BD units in the Star Wars galaxy in the near future, which I would be very excited to see. I hope so. They're awesome. And I love BD1 in this game and his useful nature, if you will. So they got to find Grease, apparently, to fix up the Mantis, because they took some big damages getting out of Coruscant. All right, looks like I can play the game again here. I have to clean up the Mantis. That is my mission here. I have to literally tidy up, evidently. He can't just take a person's ship back to him not in a good-looking condition, evidently. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. We'll just meander about. Make sure that everything's up to code, up to snuff, if you will. Guess we'll just go exploring the ship. I see this is where I would be updating my lightsaber, if you will. At least that's from the first game, where the station that you did it. There's a bunk. Okay, looks like the objective is up ahead. Oh, it's right here. Interact. Okay, got one way to tidy up a little bit here. Oh, I can do some assembly for BD1, it looks like. Maybe I can customize them. Okay, workbenches are unlocked. Okay, yes. Same workbenches that you can do from the beginning. We can do all types of customizations to lightsabers. Of course, BD, I can make him look all kinds of different colors. So I see those green and blue colors they're suggesting that I change him to. I don't know. I like the classic BD1 look. I don't even think I want to change him. I also like the blue lightsaber. Is it back here? Can I change the lightsaber back here? Maybe I'll look into change the lightsaber. Gear could be used and equipped. Okay. Got it. Understood. What if I can change the blade color? Oh, I can. What color do you think I should go with? I think I'm going to go with... wow. There's a lot of different colors. So just for those at home, blue, green, purple, yellow, cyan, magenta, indigo, orange, and white. I'm going with white. I feel like he's not necessarily... he's a Jedi, but I like the idea of him not being like a part of the Order. He's kind of like a way seeker in a way. from the High Republic era. He's kind of doing his own thing, living his own life, etc. Oh, I can interact with something. Oh, that's just a meditation thing. I mean, that's of course in the game how you reclaim your health and force back. You can also update your skills in that section, which I don't have a full skill point yet. I had like 4 in a row that I used at the same time to really up my skill sets. And then, of course, there's a different strategy you can do when it comes to all that stuff. If you want to do your force or your just general health objectives or your lightsaber skills, all that can be done to make the game easier for you as things get more difficult throughout. So I just traveled to the planet Kobo, which is hopefully where we'll meet Grease, and learn more about what he's been up to since we last saw him. Man, they really did an excellent job with these animations. What is that? It's like a black hole? Holy cow, I wish you guys could see this. I have no idea what I'm looking at here. It's like it's pulling in the mantis a little bit, but they're able to fly around it. Kobo, that's a new planet. Yeah, the mantis is definitely in need of some repairs. Systems are failing all over. I guess overall, this game is really fun. It's brutal again. It continues the story very well to this point. And I'm pleased with the gameplay thus far. Oh, there's some Jawas. Just flew over a couple of Jawas. Don't go in for a crash landing with the mantis here, I'll tell you. I think they definitely made some great improvements to the game from last time, from Fallen Order for sure. The map, the gameplay. I think it's a little bit more user friendly overall, in my opinion. So definitely worth the money, and I would definitely say pick up Fallen Order if you haven't played that yet. That was a lot of fun, a great video game. It might be one of my favorite video games, to be honest. It was frankly the reason I got this new Xbox, plus it being a 4K player in general. Since I don't necessarily have enough time to play video games anymore these days. Oh, Grease's Cantina. He's a cantina owner. Look at that. He's definitely went into different job occupations in his post working with the Mantis crew time here. Went from that to a cantina owner. Wow. All right, now I'm on Kobo. I guess I'm going to be finding this new cantina location here. Wonder if I'm going to be running into like a type of creatures or animals that I'm supposed to take out to get some force points, or skill points, all that. I know that was a fun criticism that people had from the first game, where it's kind of ironic how the only way to level up is by destroying or killing animals or creatures, and it's like the most un-Jedi thing you can imagine. Okay, I gotta press to open up some BD binoculars. Okay, there's a Toronto shell. I gotta place a beacon on it. Okay, cool. By hovering on a beacon, you can open its location on the hover map. Interesting. Okay, press that button. And it's there. Cool. I don't know if that'll help me find it easier or not, but we'll see. So I really don't have a clue where to go after this one. I know I'm supposed to go through here. I go down this pathway then. All right. Sometimes you get twisted and turned when it comes to this game overall, because the world is so expansive and it's great for that. But for those of us that aren't necessarily gamers, it can be a lot and overwhelming a little bit here and there. Anywho, I'll go ahead and start wrapping up here, folks, because I don't want to take up too much of your time today, and I know this can be confusing, potentially just by listening to a person ramble as they're playing a game here. But I hope that you enjoyed this play and talk. If you liked this, maybe I'll do some more of these in the future. Perhaps I'll do some streaming to either like Twitch or YouTube or something like that. I'll look into how to make that feasible with all that. But yeah, I hope that you had a great time listening to this episode. I had fun putting it together and, of course, playing the game here. And we'll be back next week with a brand new episode, probably talking either about not Survivor, but Visions or Young Jedi Adventures. We'll be discussing one of those in further detail. Very excited to dive into those so far. And of course, hit us up on all the social media channels: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Hive. All those places. We'll love to continue the conversation with you all. And again, we have our T Public store and our Patreon if you would like to support the podcast through other means, either through a subscription to a monthly subscription to our show at various tiers, or by physically wearing Force Ghost Conversations merchandise. Until next time, may the Force be with you. Take care.